The black lady encountered a tough guy on her first flight. A strong man in front kept squeezing back. The flight attendant not only didn't help, but also favored the fat man in front. Even the chief flight attendant started to be sarcastic.
Ma'am, had you chosen to fly first class instead of economy, you would have had plenty of room in one of our cocoons.
How much is it?
Beg your pardon?
How much for the damn cocoon?
Today, I recommend a high-rated masterpiece, The Last Vacation, which is being shown on a film and television platform built on .com and .top domains. Let's watch it together. With money, she spoke so confidently, she got her wish and sat in first class. Facing her arrogance, the flight attendant's attitude became humble. She was served with delicious food and drink. This is also the first time that the eldest sister has experienced that she didn't have to look at others' faces. Living is so cool. Seeing the long queue of people waiting for the bus, so she was generous again. She chartered a whole helicopter, enjoying the panoramic view in midair. She couldn't help but get a little emotional. She regretted living her life cautiously. Today, she finally knew what it means to enjoy life. The helicopter soon arrived at the top of the 5-star hotel, which caused people below to speculate who the important person was in the helicopter, because the last person who appeared in this way was the prince of a western country. As she arrived early by plane, the front desk informed the lady the room she booked at the hotel hasn't been cleaned yet. The presidential suite is currently available, but it costs 4,000 euros per night.
Did you see me blink?
She followed the waiter to the room. Didn't know how much tip to give. She gave the waiter 4,000 euros at once. This scared the waiter. He didn't know what kind of woman she was. He only dared to carefully accept one. While the lady stood by the window, looked out the window at the beautiful scenery, she couldn't help but sigh. In fact, 2 days ago, her life was very different from now. Her full name is May. She was an ordinary salesperson in the mall. She was careful with her money. She never spends more than she needs to on things. She saved all the money she could, dreaming of opening her own restaurant. But unexpectedly, she saved money for more than 10 years before her dream could come true. The bad news came first. On this day, the person she had a crush on actually invited her to have dinner together. She was so excited that she couldn't hold the tableware, but when she bent down to pick it up, she accidentally bumped into the cabinet and passed out. Her crush quickly took her to the hospital, but after the examination at the hospital, the doctor gave her the final notice.
What? I got 3 weeks to live? Are you shitting me?
4 on the outside. I'm sorry.
You're sorry? Well, I'm sorry.
The doctor was afraid of a misdiagnosis, so she did another examination, but the result was the same. She was diagnosed with Landon syndrome, and there is no cure for this disease. Desperately returning home, she flipped through his photo album. There were the delicacies she always wanted to eat, and places he always wanted to go, and the person she had a crush on for a long time, and someone she had a crush on for a long time. Used to think she had plenty of time, and enough time to complete these things one by one, but in a blink of an eye, all things haven't had time to start. But she was about to die. She had always lived a regular life. I've cried enough. Fakio has also figured it out. The remaining time, for that meager salary, even if her boss scolded her bloody, she endured it. The first thing she will do today is fire her boss.
That's a $400 phone.
You know what? I quit.
Register.com and .top domain names to establish an online benchmark in the industry. Then she went to the bank and withdrew all her savings over the past decade. I'm just gonna spend it. Before she died, create the most perfect vacation for herself. She chose Prague as his vacation destination. After checking into a 5-star hotel, May decided to transform herself from head to toe. At night, she changed into a gorgeous dress and walked into the restaurant to look for food. The celebrities in the private room all looked over, curious about the woman who took a helicopter during the day, what her identity was. But May didn't care about that. Indifferent to others and ordered all the specialties. The chef saw the menu. He immediately confirmed that she was a true food lover. He not only prepared food for Dakiao by himself, but also came to the restaurant to entertain him. But this made the celebrities in the private room stunned. The chef they couldn't even invite by queuing was chatting and laughing with this fat woman. This made them have to suspect that May's identity. Some guessed he was rich, while others guessed he was from a noble family. This also successfully caught the attention of the MP. After dinner, May enjoyed the hotel's hot springs alone, but the congressman quietly came over to talk to her. May said very frankly, she was just an ordinary person, but the congressman thought he was being modest. and the scene of their conversation was seen by the rich man. The rich man is a tycoon in the consumer industry. He came to discuss cooperation with the MP. He seriously suspected that May was sent by a competitor and couldn't help but feel hostile towards him. Build a website with a .com or .top domain name, win at the starting line and win the future. The next day, May came to the ski resort to try skiing. As a beginner, she quickly lost control of the skateboard, and even faster, she was rampaging on the slope and sped past the rich man who was also skiing. But this was seen by the rich man as a provocation. He chased after him and wanted to compete with May, but May was panicked at this time and had no time to deal with him. The two rushed down the mountain one after another. May was lucky and finally hit a wooden table and stopped steadily, but the rich man was not so lucky. He fell heavily and landed on his face. He felt humiliated. He was unconvinced and wanted to compete with May more. This kind of fixed-point skydiving is a relatively dangerous sport. It requires jumping off a cliff without any safety ropes and jump down. It also requires a high level of psychological quality. But the rich man never thought that. May, who is not afraid of death, how could she be afraid of this simple skydiving? May shouted to encourage herself and then jumped directly down. In midair, he smiled, as if she felt an unprecedented sense of ease. When she was about to reach the ground, she opened his parachute and landed safely in the snow. Next, it was the rich man's turn. This guy was obviously timid and dared not jump. He used the excuse that the equipment was different. According to the waiter, when he went to collect the rich man's clothes, he was found to have peed his pants. Of course, May didn't care about these. At this time, she was comfortably enjoying a full-body massage. But next to her, a voice scolded the masseur. She walked over and said, "I don't like the way you're talking to this lady. The reason why your neck is stiff is obviously because you often hook up with married women. The massage is kindly helping you relieve stress. Don't lose your temper at others easily." The woman was a little embarrassed and dared not answer. She knew that his time was limited, so she said whatever she wanted and do what she do. She will no longer be as hesitant as before. Now he dares to try and speak out loudly. He always exudes an indescribable freedom, making people around him can't help but want to make friends with her. But the more she acts like the rich man who is surrounded by people, the more they dislike him. He secretly bribed the hotel manager to find out the real origin of May. Taking advantage of her position, sneaked into She's room. Unexpectedly, she found May's previous work permit. The mysterious rich man in everyone's eyes was just an ordinary salesperson. She felt cheated, but at the same time, she also saw a suicide note left by May. After reading the content of the letter, manager felt very guilty. She took the initiative to confess to May, hoping to be forgiven, and promised to keep the secret for her, although she didn't tell the rich man about this. He learned of May's identity through other channels. At the banquet that night, he exposed May's true identity in public. He thought he could humiliate May severely, but May was not angry. Instead, she calmly told everyone, never wanted to deceive anyone. Nor did he want to curry favor with anyone. The reason why she came here was because her life was coming to an end. She wanted to spend all her savings and leave the world without regrets. She lived too hastily in this life, hadn't had time to experience many things, and there was no chance anymore. So, she just wants to enjoy the remaining time. After hearing May's words, all the celebrities present fell silent. They also despised the rich man's behavior, and they all got up and left the banquet. He suddenly became the target of everyone and drank alone. While drinking, he climbed to the rooftop. He was a proud man. Even if he died, he would die before others. He had been a winner all his life. Today was the first time he lost so completely, and he lost to a salesperson. Seeing the rich man like this, didn't take his previous behavior to heart. Instead, she climbed onto the eaves to enlighten him. She said that someone as rich and not short of time as him, there's nothing you can't try to change. I just want to live well and open a small restaurant of my own. But such a simple and ordinary dream. But I can't even achieve them. In comparison, you are so lucky. What else are you dissatisfied with? After May's comfort, the rich man finally let go. But suddenly May couldn't help feeling sad. She has little time left. She has fulfilled most of his wish list. The only regret now is that she hasn't confessed to the one she loves. And at this moment, John suddenly appeared in front of May and confessed he loved to her loudly. It turned out that he also liked May. May left without saying goodbye before. He suspected that there must be some reason, so he found the doctor who treated May before. Only then did he learn about May's condition. Then he came to Europe without hesitation. Even if May only had a few days to live, he wanted to accompany her to the end. At this moment, excitedly, her brought a message. It was a fax from the hospital where May was treated. It turned out that she didn't have a terminal illness. It was a machine malfunction that led to a misdiagnosis. After hearing the news, May felt like a new life. They are happily together, got married and opened a restaurant. The movie ends here.